Chapter 9. The Thing Below. The cavern had swallowed them whole. After the running fire, after the screams and the thunder of falling catwalks, the silence pressed down like a weight. The prisoners collapsed first, their bodies giving in to exhaustion now that survival wasn't measured in seconds. They slumped against the walls, coughing, some weeping quietly into their hands. Mac flopped onto a block of fallen stone, helmet canted to one side. He blew out a long breath, then chuckled hoarsely. Well? That was invigorating. Who's up for round 2? Nobody answered. Ace leaned against the wall, chest heaving, rifle slack in his grip. His ears still rang from the charges Stone had set, every heartbeat echoing against his ribs. Sweat had carved tracks through the dust on his face. He swallowed, trying to quiet the pulse of panic still churning through him, but the silence only made it louder. Stone stood apart. He hadn't sat, hadn't slumped, hadn't moved much at all. He scanned the cavern with the stillness of a statue, visor glowing faintly. One hand rested on the pouch at his hip, the one holding the shard. Ace caught himself staring at it. He didn't mean to, but his eyes kept being dragged there, to the faint flicker of light leaking through the fabric. He could hear it again. Not words exactly, more like the shape of words, the way thunder shapes air before lightning splits it. Come closer. He rubbed at his ear as if that might dislodge the sound. It didn't. The cavern stretched away into blackness. Their lamps picked out jutting rock, collapsed rubble, and veins of something metallic that glimmered faintly under the stone. The air was dry but heavy, as if they were breathing the weight of centuries. Right, Mac said after a long, brittle pause. He patted his chest as if checking he was still solid. Quick show of hands. Who else feels like we've just wandered into a tomb that doesn't want us here? A few of the prisoners whimpered. One muttered a prayer under his breath. Stone ignored him. Ace, sweep the left perimeter. I'll take right. Mac, keep them calm. Ace blinked at him. Calm? They're terrified. Then keep them alive, Stone snapped, and moved off without another word. Mac raised his brows. Cheery as ever, he leaned forward, resting his rifle across his knees, and looked at the prisoners. You heard the man. Everyone breathe. Pretend this is just a scenic detour. Nobody laughed. Ace's lamp cut a cone through the dark. He kept his rifle high, every muscle aching, every nerve stretched taut. The cavern floor dipped unevenly, sometimes smooth, sometimes jagged with half-buried debris. He stepped carefully, boots crunching in the dust. The deeper he went, the clearer the hum became. It thrummed in the stone, in his teeth, in his bones. Like the cavern itself had a heartbeat. His lamp swept over something half swallowed by rock. Not stone, not machinery like the aliens had dragged in. Something else. A surface, smooth and metallic, with faint lines running across it. At first, he thought they were scratches, but as he drew closer, he realized they glowed. Faint, pulsing, like veins. He reached out before he realized what he was doing. His fingertips hovered an inch above the metal, tingling. The whispers rose in a sudden rush, drowning thought. We are waiting. Ace! He flinched, hand jerking back. Stone stood a few meters away, visor haloed in lamplight. You feel it, Ace said before he could stop himself. Stone didn't answer. He just looked at the wall, then at the pouch on his hip. His hand tightened around it. It's here. What is? Ace whispered. Stone turned his head slowly toward him. The reason they're digging. They followed the vein of metal deeper into the cavern. The prisoners trailed behind, muttering, their footsteps dragging. Mac kept up a running commentary that wasn't fooling anyone. Lovely decor, isn't it? Really brightens the place up. Could do with a fresh coat of paint, mind, and maybe less ominous glowing veins. Nobody told him to shut up, which only made the silence between his words worse. The metal spread wider the deeper they went, until the cavern walls were no longer stone at all, but sheer planes of alien alloy. Not bolted together, not built, grown, fused seamlessly, as if the cavern had been hollowed to make way for it. The veins of light pulsed faintly across the surface, impossible patterns that bent and curved in ways that made Ace's eyes ache if he looked too long. And then they found the door, if it could be called that. It was vast, stretching from floor to ceiling, its edges curved in shapes that refused to resolve into anything familiar. No hinges, no handles, just surfaces that seemed both flat and deep at once. The veins of light converged there, running into its center, pulsing like breath. The prisoners fell silent. Even Mac stopped. Ace felt his throat dry out. The whispers filled him now, louder than before, tumbling over themselves. Not words, not quite, but meaning pressed against the edges of his mind, waiting, inviting. Stone stepped closer. His lamp washed over the surface, revealing nothing that resembled human craft. He lifted the shard from his pouch. Its glow flared, brighter than ever, pulsing in time with the veins across the door. The cavern seemed to hold its breath. Stone's voice was low. "We set camp here." Ace blinked. "Here? Beside this? Safer than anywhere else. They won't come near." Ace looked back at the prisoners. Their faces were pale, eyes darting between the door and the shadows. Safe wasn't what he'd call it. But Stone had already knelt, unrolling his pack with methodical efficiency. Mac gave a short, mirthless laugh. Well, home sweet bloody home. They set fires from broken timber and alien debris, the light flickering against the metal walls. It didn't make the cavern feel warmer. If anything, the flames seemed swallowed by the alloy, their reflections sliding too slowly across the surface. The prisoners huddled close together, whispering prayers, some clutching makeshift bandages tighter. The wounded moaned quietly. Mac tried passing out ration packs, making quips about fine dining. A few managed weak smiles, but most just stared at the door. Ace sat apart, rifle across his knees. His eyes kept drifting back, no matter how he tried to look away. The veins pulsed gently, endlessly, the rhythm sinking into his skull. He closed his eyes, but the image burned behind his eyelids. Open. He snapped them open again. His breath hitched. Stone sat across the fire, motionless, the shard in his hand. He wasn't even pretending to rest. He just watched the glow, visor reflecting its light. Ace shivered. The hours dragged. Exhaustion gnawed at them, but no one truly slept. The cavern hummed, the door pulsed, and every flicker of firelight made the shadows crawl across the walls. At one point, Mac spoke, voice low. "You ever get the feeling you're being stared at?" Ace didn't answer. He didn't need to. The cavern felt alive, watching, waiting. By the time Ace realized he'd been staring at the door for what felt like minutes, but might have been hours, his body was stiff, his rifle heavy in his hands. The pulse of light hadn't changed. The whispers hadn't stopped. They wouldn't. He tore his eyes away, forcing himself to look at Mac, at the prisoners, at anything else. But the sense remained. The vault was waiting. That night, if it could be called night in a place without time, ended with the squad huddled close to the fire, the prisoners whispering, the wounded groaning. Stone kept the shard near. Mac kept his jokes brittle. Ace kept listening to a silence that wasn't silent at all. And the door loomed, breathing light into the dark. Watching.
Now's that is the end for this one. Make sure you come back for more, and like and subscribe. See you soon.